Hey, I just want to say, first of all, that I am so jazzed to be on this call tonight and to do this training. I woke up pumped this morning. I texted the team early this morning and I said, hey guys, I am so pumped about tonight. And I'm pumped for you. I'm pumped for myself. I'm pumped for our new recruits. I'm pumped for our mentors. I'm just like over the top excited, because I'm telling you, I say this a lot, that the treasure is in the field, you know, and sometimes that treasure is a very large field and it's hard to find the treasure. But I'm telling you folks, you have found the treasure in the field with Powur Solar. I have worked for a lot of solar companies, some of the larger solar companies in the industry, and I have never ever come across an opportunity that's as strong as Powur. I mean, it's just amazing. Our leadership team with Jonathan Budd, Jim Bunch, Bobby Smith, Charles Thompson, our field liaison, these guys are literally the best of the best of the best on the corporate level. And then on the local level, I just want to give a shout out before I start the training to Bo Condon, to Anthony D'Aquino, and Terry Loftus. This leadership team on a local level, telling you guys, they are the best of the best. So the fact that you are a part of this team, you are a part of a winning team. And again, I'm super, super excited. I want to say thank you to those three folks, because you know what? They really pushed me. They have helped me in my career more than I could even tell you, even though Bo is new. It's a new relationship that I've created with Bo and fostered with Bo since I've been a part of Powur. But Anthony and Terry Loftus and Bo, these folks have really helped me, and they've said some great things to me. And I want to say this as a tidbit for all of you. Pay attention to the things that people say about you, not the negative things, but the positive things. Why? Because those are key indicators into who you really are, the positive things. And a lot of times people are going to see things in you that you don't even see in yourself. Maybe you've seen them before, but maybe you're going through something right now, life's issues, and you don't see them. People will always see the good in you. And so pay attention to those things, because they're key indicators into who you really are. I've watched all of you, each of you on this call every single week, and you're always here, you're engaged, you're asking questions, and you're doing the things that it takes in order to be successful. And so I'm excited. All right, I'm excited. So let's go ahead and jump right in. Tonight is training on events. My name is Dana Le Blanc, AKA number 8. I finished 8 in the company in 2021, and events was definitely one of the tools that I used in order to achieve my success. I did a lot of mentor deals last year with Anthony and Bo, and but events is definitely my bread and butter. And so I'm going to go ahead and jump into the training. Let's see here. Okay, it's not allowing me to do that. Hold on, guys. I apologize here. I'm going to try to go back and represent. Bo and I worked this out today, and for some reason, I'm having issues now. Hold on. Okay. All right. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Here we go. Here we go. So again, my name is Dana Le Blanc. My name and phone number is on the slide. If you have any questions after this training, anything that you need help on, feel free to give me a call. Please work through your mentors. But if there's anything that I can help you with in terms of resources or information about events, I am available for you. Okay. All right. I first want to talk about the 3 principles of implementation. That's earnings, simplicity, and execution. These are principles. A principle is what? It's a rule or a law or an idea in relation to behavior, right? Or how something works. A principle is a law upon which other laws are based. It's the foundation. And I'm telling you guys, if you implement the information that I'm going to share with you tonight, the trajectory of your earnings is going to go up. It's going to increase, and you're going to see yourself making more money than you've ever made in your life. And then the second principle is simplicity. I'm going to show you how easy it is to implement this information. And then lastly, it's execution. I have the little Nike sign up there, just do it. We all know their motto. And I want to just tell you, just do it, do it, do it. Don't wait, jump right in there. Fake it until you make it, because I guarantee you, you're going to make it. Okay. All right. I'm going to walk you through a little timeline of my own personal life. And I'm going to be a little transparent with you and share some personal stuff. But it's a happy ending. And so I'm really proud to do this. So in 2019, just what, 2 years ago, I was working for a company here in Modesto. I was a W-2 employee. I had the cushion of a paycheck every 2 weeks, but I was working 9 to 5, but I was working for peanuts, literally working for peanuts. I think I was making $35,000 a year base salary with this company, but I had a huge quota, right? So I was pushing for this huge quota. If I hit the quota, I got a bonus. If I didn't hit the quota, then, I didn't have any extra income, right? There was no work-life balance at all. It was all about obtaining that quota. If you did hit your quota, guess what? The next month, you're back at zero again, right? It just was not a very good situation. I was being micromanaged. They paid for my cell phone. Hey, where are you? What are you doing? What's happening with this account? It was a very frustrating situation, but it was allowing me to take care of the bills to some point and be able to eat food and put gas in my car. Okay, transitioning to 2022 in that same position, but I was completely unhappy in many regards, specifically financially. I had high credit card debt because I was having to pay some of my bills with credit cards. I had tax debt. I literally had no money in the bank, and I was living from paycheck to paycheck. A very frustrating situation. And then Anthony and Terry presented Powur Solar to me. And I was, I had been out of the game for some time. As I mentioned earlier, I had worked for some of the larger solar companies in the industry. And it just, I had a bad taste in my mouth with, the commissions and being overlooked for promotions. And it just, I just didn't want to do it anymore. I didn't want to do it anymore. And when I found Powur, Anthony was like, dude, you got to check this out. He showed me on paper, the potential, the income potential. He showed me the portal. Terry Loftus, she actually literally paid, and I'm going to just, maybe she doesn't want me to say this, but she actually paid for me to renew my in-home salesperson's license because I didn't have the money to do that. And so I was working for Powur part-time, working my regular job, and trying to close some solar deals. And I started making money with Powur. And so for my first 7 months, I worked part-time, and I started making, really high commission. I see a lot of people leaving the group. I started making really high commissions, but and it was jazzing me. It was really motivating me. And by month 8, I quit my day job and I went full-time with Powur Solar. In August of last year, I earned the partner spotlight for being one of the highest paid consultants in the company. 5,000 employees or 5,000 consultants. I earned the #1 spot. I earned $41,000 in the month of August. That was more than I had made in my entire previous year with the company that I was working for. I finished at number 8, top salesperson 21. I am now completely debt free. The truck to the left is my dream truck that I bought. I'm building a team. I have more than 10 people, and I'm on track to hit $500,000 this year. I'm sharing that information with you because I want you to know that I'm no one special, right? The things I'm going to show you tonight is duplicatable, and you can do them as well. I got this quote from Buckminster Fuller, and he says this. He says, the moment you choose to do what you really want to do, it's a different kind of life. Buckminster Fuller, you may be familiar with his name. Jonathan Budd used one of his quotes in our evolution training, and this one really stood out to me. The moment you choose to do what you really want to do, it's a different kind of life. Those are 18 words that make up this powerful, powerful quote. But the operative word in this quote for me is you. You choose. And when you make that choice, nothing should get in your way. Once you make up your mind to do what you want to do, it is a different kind of life. So I want to encourage you with that. All righty, let's go ahead and jump into events. Events is my bread and butter. And so here's a list of things that you're going to need in order to do events. Now, you can take this information and you can personalize it. You can change it the way that you want to. But here is the basics of the things that you're going to need. The first thing is a 10 by 10 tent. Okay. The brand that I use is Max. You can find it on Amazon Prime or on Amazon. I paid $279 for that tent. With that tent, I have made over $200,000. Okay. I'm not saying that's going to be that you're going to make the same amount of money, but I'm telling you the potential is there. Okay. So $279 on Amazon. You're going to also need a tablecloth. And so the brand that I use is ABC Canopy. It's a spandex tablecloth. I'm going to show you what it looks like in just a moment. It's a 6-foot tablecloth. They come in various colors. And I try to have various colors. I use various colors depending on the event that I'm working. I paid $21 for the tablecloth on Amazon Prime. If you cannot do the 10 by 10 tent, you can go something smaller and do a 9-foot outdoor aluminum patio umbrella. Again, the brand that I use is Blissum. Again, on Amazon Prime for $48. Okay. If you go the umbrella route, you do need the cast stone base. Again, the brand that I use is DC American. That's the code for it. 18-inch cast stone base for $32. Guys, it's bananas of the cost that you can get this stuff for. Of course, you're going to need some chairs. You're going to need a 12 by 12 calendar. I use a 12 by 12, or you can use the desk size. Again, I'm going to show you what that stuff looks like. You're going to need lead sheets. You're going to need appointment cards. You're going to need business cards, a big bowl of candy, an exaggerated bowl of candy, and you're going to need some giveaways. Okay? So those are the things, the basic things that you're going to need for your event. All righty. Here's what your setup is going to look like. As you can see here, I have my white color canopy. I have different color tablecloths. I have red, I have yellow, I have white, I have different ones. And here's some events that I did. The 4th of July Festival is one that I have here local that's in my area. I do arts and crafts fairs. The Asparagus Festival is one that I worked in 2021 last year. I literally made $50,000 at this 2-day event. $50,000. I think I scheduled 12 appointments. I closed 9 of those appointments, and I made over $50,000 at that event. I did a pumpkin festival. I also have here a local car wash that I go and set up at periodically. It's an open door for me to go and set up there any single time that I want to. As you can see here, I'm using the umbrella and a 4-foot table at that event. You don't necessarily need the big canopy, but I suggest that you do get the big canopy, okay? Now, as you can see here, there's some things on the table. I always go to the dollar store and I get, as you can see here, bird feeders. I get cups. These are cups that are for fall. I do large cups here for the 4th of July. I do clear cups. I do all kinds of giveaways because once a person schedules an appointment with me, I want to give them something to take away. Okay. All right. So here are the documents that I have on the table. Now, these are not sized to scale. Okay. But I wanted you to be able to see them clearly. So the first thing that I have here is the lead sheet. Okay. I can forward this out to anyone that wants it. And you can make copies of it. But this is really an important piece of paper because I'm interacting with the customer, right? I'm asking them their name, their phone number, their email address. I'm asking them which utility company that they're in, what their average bill is per month, the type of roof that they have, and it's allowing me to really engage with the customer, okay? So once I have this information filled out, I go to the calendar, and I have the calendar turned towards the customer, okay? And here is where I want them to get them engaged, right? So I may make a suggestion to them and say, hey, Mr. Customer, I have either the 3rd, 4th, or 5th open. I really try to get them to point to the calendar and say, this is the day that works for me, okay? I rarely try and schedule an appointment more than a week out because most of the time they're going to cancel that appointment. So I want to get within that first 3 to 5 days, okay? And so what I'll do is I'll write the customer's name and the time of the appointment, let's say on the 3rd, and I leave space in case anybody else wants to schedule an appointment for that same day, okay? Once I have that appointment scheduled, I write it on my lead sheet that goes into my folder, and then I give them an appointment card. Here's the front of my appointment card, and that's the back of my appointment card. As you can see here, I put the date and the time. Now, most of the time, a customer is not going to have their PG&E bill or their utility bill there on the spot. I have had situations where they log into their account, they email it to me right on the spot. That's a win-win scenario. If not, let's just say today is the 1st and I have an appointment scheduled with my customer on the 3rd. I will write on here with the customer's permission that you will commit to me to have the utility bill to me on the 2nd, let's say by 3 o'clock. And I will write that in big letters on the back of the appointment card. I let the customer have that. The lead sheet goes in my folder and I give them a takeaway, a cup, bird feeder, whatever that is. Okay. I want to keep the table as clean as possible because I don't want to overstimulate them with a lot of stuff. All righty. Okay. Here is a strong principle that I want you to get in the habit of. Look for signage. These are photos that I've taken as I was driving down the street. Sometimes I see them out of the corner of my eye, but your city, your county, wherever you live, they're posting events all of the time. But you know, in our busy work schedule, kids are in the back seat, they're crying and yelling. We're thinking about what we have to do next. We're just focused on getting to our destination. Start looking for signage because there's signage out there everywhere. Okay. Again, these are actual photos that I've taken for myself for events in my area. When I get back to the home base, I sit down and I call them I get my application in, and I guarantee my spot. So start looking for signage. All right. All right, your interaction. I'm going to talk to you about your interaction because, you know, you're going to come across a lot of different people. There's a lot of people that have some knowledge of solar, right? And those people are going to try to take up most of your time proving how much they know about solar, okay? You want to filter through those people as quickly as possible, but you want to be engaging. You want to talk to everyone. Talk to everyone. I have here, note the kill zone. What is the kill zone? The kill zone for me starts at that first foot of my 10 by 10 tent to the 10th foot of my 10 by 10 tent. When they pass my tent, I want to make sure that I have a conversation with them. And if you have ambassadors there working the event with you, you can have your ambassadors talking to people while you're talking to people. Okay, so you're covering a lot of ground. All right, be excited. Energy is an exchange. You get back the energy that you put out. And so for those that have worked with me at my events, I'm really engaging. I'm making people laugh. Humor goes a long way for me. You find what works best for you. Okay, limit your conversations to 3 minutes. So again, I'm trying to get that initial rapport built with them. Bring them to the table, right? And I can tell when someone is interested in really scheduling an appointment. And so limit your conversation to 3 minutes because you want to make sure that you can cover as much ground as possible. This is what works for me. It may work differently for you. But you want to build rapport quickly, okay? And again, you don't want to be out there saying, hey, go solar for free, go solar with no down. People are turned off by that. What I'll do is, if someone walks by with bright colored shoes, I'll say, hey man, those are the cleanest shoes that I've ever seen, right? I'm trying to relate with them in some capacity. If they have a jersey on of a favorite team, comment on that. Do what you have to do to get that person's attention, make it about them, and you will be able to build rapport quickly. Always set the appointment. Always go for the appointment. And then after you've set the appointment, follow up, follow up, follow up. It's key. If you allow more than 24 to 48 hours to go by without interacting with that lead, you're going to lose them. So follow up, follow up, follow up, and then lastly, close the deal, right? But most of all, have fun. It's fun. It's fun talking to people. It's fun interacting with people. Okay. All right. Here are the types of events that I go for. And they may be different in your area, but there is annual events like there's what do you call them? Fairs. There are county fairs, those kinds of things. There are seasonal events. I do a lot of seasonal events. 4th of July, strawberry, asparagus, Christmas, pumpkin festivals. Those kinds of things are happening all the time in our cities and in our counties. Music festivals. This one's really huge. People love outdoor music. People are really friendly. Beer and wine festivals. I'm not an advocate of alcohol. I don't drink. But hey, they need solar as well, right? So I go to those events. Arts and crafts events. Let me just say this. Don't limit yourself to just large events. If there's 50 or more people or 100 people or more at that event, I'm going to go. I've gone to events where there was probably less than 25 people, and I walked away from there with a large commercial lead. Okay, that's not for our Powur platform, but you know, it's another leg of my business. Health fairs are big. Earth Day. Earth Day is coming up here soon. It's a really awesome time. People are green. They're earth conscious. And it's a great time to schedule some events. Local events, county events. Talk to your chamber. Talk to the Chamber of Commerce in your area. They'll have a list of events that you can go to, and it's a great time. All right. So In closing, I'm going to talk about some events that may be in your area. I know we have some people on here from North Carolina, South Carolina, Arizona, maybe New Mexico is on here, Colorado, Texas. And so here are some events that I looked up today that you might want to look into. In Charlotte, North Carolina, and let me just see where my time is. Charlotte, North Carolina, there's the Mimosa and Merch Festival. It's February the 5th. I know it's soon, but that's okay. If you can get in there, try and get in there. It's from 2 to 7. There's 40 plus vendors, food trucks, live bands, the whole 9 yards. Here's the contact for that. In Denver, Colorado, the Boulder County Fire Benefit is coming up again on February the 5th from 2 to 10. DJ Twitch from the Ellen Show is going to be there doing his thing. There's games, raffles. There's the contact. Fort Collins, Colorado, Open Jam is every first and third Wednesday of the month. Live bands, adult beverages. Again, these are great times, are great opportunities for you to interact with a lot of people. There's a contact number for that. In Cabero, New Mexico, the Superhero Circus and Festival. That one sounds super fun. On March 28th, it's happening all day. There's live performances, clowns, vendors, the whole 9 yards. There's the contact information for that. In Anderson, South Carolina, I was thinking about our boy, Mr. Love. There's the Deep Winter Blues Festival. It's happening February the 19th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. featuring Mac Arnold. I don't know who that is. Maybe he does. But there's vendors there. There's food there. There's the contact for you. Seminole and Lubbock, Texas. The Galantines Evening Market happening February the 12th from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. That's an all-day event. And then Arizona, there's the Arizona Indian Festival. Again, that's happening February the 5th. So I just kind of wanted to give you an idea of what these events look like. I'm telling you, folks, it really will add to your door-to-door time. It's going to add to your referral time. I really see events as low-hanging fruit because you're in one spot, you're able to talk to a lot of people and drum up some business. Okay? So that is the end of my presentation. And I hope you all enjoyed that and that you gleaned some great information. And I can open it up for Q&A or Bo, however you want to do that, buddy.
Yeah, looks like we got a question from Gabriel. Go ahead, Gabriel. I think you're.
Hey, Dana, how you doing, man? It's a pleasure to hear you. You've shared some pretty good information, man. I've been taking notes, and I've got a few questions here that I'd like to run by you if you're okay. Hopefully, some of these questions might help everybody. Just kind of taking some notes. Sure. One of the questions that I had was, how has the pandemic maybe either affected or changed or helped you during this time in your events, being that it's outdoor and kind of in-person events? Has that been an effect?
Absolutely. Every industry has been affected by the pandemic, but I feel that things are starting to open back up and people are becoming more willing to interact with each other. I do recommend, wearing a mask, keeping some hand sanitizer on the desk, and just, making sure that you social distance. You can have a conversation with the person from, 4 to 6 feet away. And everyone has been very respectful. But yeah, I've been working these events even through the pandemic.
Awesome. Another question that I had was with your calendar. I find that pretty interesting, right? Are you using the paper calendar to be a little more personable, or have you attempted to use more of a digital platform like an iPad to where people can use like Calendly or like a Google Calendar to kind of schedule their stuff? Why? And I'm just curious, why the paper calendar versus something maybe a little different? I just wanted to know your approach.
That's a great question. So the paper calendar, in my opinion, is very personable, and it allows people to interact with me, right? So a lot of people don't have their phones with them. They don't have an iPad with them. And you know, to be honest with you, I think a lot of people are going back to the old school way of doing things. You know, we're still interacting digitally, but the calendar, it creates a bond between me and my customer, right? And one of the things that I didn't say during the presentation is for my first interaction, that first 3 minutes, I'm doing the assumptive close with them, right? I'm shaking my head yes when they ask me certain questions. Even when I say certain things, I'm shaking my head. So I'm planting seeds. And in my personal opinion, that calendar is a means for me to plant a seed with them, and it allows them to be a part of the decision-making process.
Got you. That's awesome. And then my last question for you is, when you're at these events, are you utilizing per se, like sometimes I've gone to events and I've seen where some of these tents might have a person that approaches, you know, people walking by and kind of lures them to the tent in order to kind of talk to the individual? Or is this kind of a one-man show where you're doing things just kind of like what you said, I like your sneakers or something like that, and people walk over?
It's all of the above. It really is. I take my team out with me. Christopher Castro, Chris Harris. These are guys that I utilize from my team. And yeah, so we'll do the good cop, bad cop type situation. Not really. But yeah, I'll have, they'll be out there interacting with people, point them to the table. And then, we just talk to people individually as well. So whatever works for you, buddy, just, try it.
Sounds good to me, man. I appreciate it. That's all my questions, man. I'm not going to take any more time, but I appreciate you sharing.
Absolutely.
Awesome. I think we got a question from Jim next. Jim Wooten.
Hey, Dana, how you doing?
Good, sir. How are you?
All right. So up here in Sacramento, just north of you. So,
yeah.
Hey, couple questions for you. Number one is, when you say you're talking to them, get personally, how do you start the approach to solar? What's your approach to start talking solar?
Yeah, that's another really good question. Like I said, I try to use humor, and it really depends on the person that I'm talking with. And I try to fill them out in that first few seconds, but I may say something like, man, I know you're tired of paying high bills, right? And I mean, they can see my signage behind me, so they know it's about solar, right? And so I may say something like that, or I may say, something like, are you aware of what's happening in the utility, industry, right? It really depends on the person that I'm talking to. And then I'll just say, let me just talk to you. Just give me 2 minutes of your time, right? And I find that it really engages people, and it starts the conversation. It's an icebreaker.
Oh, that's good. How many events are you doing a month, or what do you say your average?
I try to do one event a month, although it has been maybe, 2 months since I've done the event. I've recently hired an event coordinator, and that event coordinator has, finding all the events. We'll be reaching out to you, Jim, about working some of the events, all the guys that are in this area for sure.
Yeah, I'm ready. Like I said, Anthony sent me a thing if I was interested, and I'm really interested in that.
Yeah, for sure.
To go with it. So
as long as you all use me as the mentor, I'm willing to pull you in. So I'll pay for the events. I'm ordering 2 more tent setups tomorrow. Let's if we have, one event in one city and another event in another city, let's just work them both. Let's work them all.
Now, question on your tent shade or your tents, have you put anything on them? I mean, I know a lot of them you can order, some of the logos and add the logos to them. Have you done that yet?
For sure, not just yet, but I am researching our compliance, restrictions with Powur to make sure that I am compliant. That is my goal within the next couple of weeks, to have all my stuff branded with the Powur logo. And so yes.
Yeah, I'd like to follow up with you on that too.
Sure, for sure.
Okay, thanks.
Terry's got the next question.
Yeah, I actually had a comment. I've been to some events with Dana, and I think something that Dana does really well at the events, which I don't want him to take it for granted. I think it's important to share with the team. But when he goes, Dana looks very professional. He's very clean cut, and Dana does everything on purpose, with purpose, meaning that tablecloth doesn't have wrinkles on it. So I think it's more than just, hey, I got a yellow tablecloth. That thing is beautiful. There's no stains on it. There's no wrinkles on it. He doesn't have a balled up calendar. Everything is clean. His postcards for him writing the appointment time down, like everything is on purpose that he does. So I went to an event when Dana couldn't work the second day until later in the afternoon. And so I went and covered the booth, and everything was clean. It was so beautiful. It was just spotless. He had his little stuff out, and I was working next to some people with clothing, and they came over and they go, you know that guy that worked here? And I said, Dana, yeah. And they said, I have never seen anybody hustle as much as him. He talks to everybody. And I'm a little bit bashful, you know, I might be behind the table like, hey, how you doing? But he said that he's like all over the place. And so I think there's, you know, not only do you want to get the event and have everything clean and your clothes look nice and you're on time and you've got your booth set up and you've got your supplies, but also that you're actually, you know, don't be afraid. I know it's scary because I know I was there. And to me, it's, you know, I'm not an outgoing type of person, but I went and I did it. But Dana is really looking to create the appointment. So I think, you know, just keeping that in mind, that you're there for a purpose, and it isn't to sign somebody at the table to go solar, though that could happen, but it's to remember, what are you selling at the time? And when Dana is there, he's selling himself and he's selling the appointment.
That's a good point, Terry. Thank you.
You do a great job.
Thank you.
Anyone else have any? Hey, Christopher. There you go, Chris. Go ahead.
So I've been to, can you hear me?
Yes.
I've been to an event with Dana, and I had a great time. I was there for the first day. The bowl of candy is real, and it is big. And I was, I mean, even if sometimes you have to take that bowl of candy and walk around with it. And one good thing is, like with those kids, if you're able to stop the kids, you're able to stop the parents. And it's an easy, I mean, I was walking up to kids and just saying, hey, you want a candy? And it's I mean, what are you going to do? You got a bowl of candy in front of the kid, and then you pop the question. And it may be anything. I'm just throwing a comment out there. So it may be something crazy. I mean, when Dana was there, I was joking around. I said, hey, you sign up for an appointment, you get a free massage with Mr. Clean right here. I mean, I was just making people laugh and joking around and just being dumb, because you're really never going to see these people ever again unless you get an appointment. So you got to work hard. You got to make them laugh. I was being goofy, and I just had a great time out there. I scheduled 4 appointments, and we closed 2 of them.
Yep.
And 2 are just on the fence. They're going through tough times with their family right now, but I did 2 out of 4. And the first one was a banger. I mean, a $20,000 commission.
Yeah, sure.
And it was my first one. I spent 2 hours with the people, with Dana. He closed it, but this works. I'm telling you, it works. 20 grand in 2 hours. I got to go work like 4 months for that. All right. With my other businesses, but it works. And I completely 110% agree with this. Don't feel intimidated. Don't be bashful. You're there just like everyone else, being a vendor, but the people are there to see what you have. you know, they're there to see what you got. So I just wanted to encourage somebody, and just don't be bashful. If you are a little shy, you know, Dana, he pushes it a little bit, at least how he'll be sitting down at the table and he'll say, hey, have you ever thought about solar? Come over here. Let me talk to you and he'll like pull them all the way over there and make them come to him. And I'm like, dude, that's kind of rude, bro. But it works. I'm telling you, you gotta stop. My daughter's jumping in the camera. You gotta try everything. You might as well throw all the mud at the wall and see what sticks, and then hold on to the couple little nuggets that, you know. So that's what I got. But yeah, great presentation. Great presentation.
Thank you, sir.
Awesome. Well said. I don't see anyone else that has a question quite yet. If you have something, raise your hand. I just want to throw in one other nugget out there. Dana didn't really offer it, but if anyone wants to do any of these local events and they want Dana to come out with them to help do these events, he said he's willing. Like you said, I just want to make sure that his time is compensated and he's going to do it. So you might make sure you use him as the mentor on these deals that you do in these events. But he's willing to, if you have some local events, you can line some up. He's willing to fly out there and do it with you.
Absolutely. That includes South Carolina, North Carolina, New Mexico, wherever we, have reps. If you want to schedule some events, I'm definitely willing to come out and work the events with you guys.
Very generous of him.
Yeah.
Any other questions before? I know it's just a few minutes past the hour. We'll keep East Coast off. Curtis, you got a question?
Yeah, real quick. I couldn't do nothing. I couldn't do nothing but laugh because I used to manage these type of events. Working for the bank years ago, so I'm very familiar with working events. Sounds like Dana has a similar personality to myself because I always had a lot of success at these events. So I'm going to just put myself out there as well. That if somebody wants me to come out and do an event, I don't have a problem doing that, but I'm definitely going to get that started. So I appreciate this training. It was awesome, Dana, and I'm definitely going to order these things and get this event marketing started back because it brought back memories for sure. And it is a lot of fun, guys. If you've never done these events, obviously depending on your personality, that's going to, be a direct reflection to, your ability to stop people and get them interested. I will say this is one of the things that I used to do, and I'm going to do it once I get back started doing it with solar. I don't know why I didn't think about it, but I used to have a wheel that people would spin, and I would say, hey, guys, before you leave, make sure you spin the wheel because you get a free prize whether you win or not. Mm-hmm. And so people would line up to spin that wheel, and you pretty much put in the slots or the inserts, guys, what you want, as far as what you want a prize to be. And I'll take a snapshot when I get ready to get this going, just to give you guys some ideas of what I put in my wheel. But obviously, one of the things that's going to be in there, especially without promotion, not sure how long it's going to last, but if they extend it, one of the things you can put in your insert is, with the promotion where we pay for the first 12 months. So just want to put that out there.
Yeah. And guys, let me just say this in closing. So events is just one leg of your business. Don't feel like that you have to do this and do this full time. You can work one event a month, one event every other month. But if you have a high bar that you've set for yourself in terms of what you want to make this year, you need to be doing events, door to door, talking to people, referrals. You need to be incorporating everything that you can, as much activity as you can in order to reach that goal. Okay. So that's my takeaway.
Awesome. Thanks, Dana. We have one more question, I think, from Anthony.
No, I just have a comment. Dana, you're awesome. Love the presentation, loved everything. Appreciate you, my brother. And I do have an update. So before we close, I do have a very exciting update. So if you can hand it off to me before we close, whatever other comments or questions or anything like that anyone may have. Let me end everyone off with this one update, but not yet. So I don't know if anyone still has questions or comments or anything. So feel free.
I don't think there's any. Raise your hand if you do. No one else is in line for a comment. I mean, I just want to reiterate to what Dana said too. Yes, don't just rely on one leg of leads. I think that's hugely important. Like people, a lot of guys, because a lot of you know that I'm marketing background. A lot of people come to me and want to purchase leads. I say, don't just purchase leads. You got to have multiple legs in your back pocket to be able to draw leads from. Okay, purchasing leads can only be one. Do events, like you said, door knocking. You'll learn how to do the ambassadors. Utilize the ambassador program. We got guys that hopefully we're going to do training on how to utilize the ambassadors. There's so many ways. Try to at least get a handful of those in your back pocket. But I'll leave that with I'll go let Anthony take over and have his good news.
Okay. Well, one, Andy, you still owe me Wendy's, so hold on there. What's going on with that Wendy's day? Two, you hear that, California guys? They're going to take Dana away from us. So Jim, Castro, Harris, I see you guys. Wayne, let's get Dana in some events out here locally by us. Colorado, everyone wants to take him away from us. But so let's definitely utilize him. And I will say on February 15th, make sure I got the days right. February 15th, put it on your calendar, 7 p.m. Pacific. We are going to have a monster come through, and he's going to speak to us for a few minutes of the corporate people that Dana had mentioned. I think you mentioned about 3 or 4 of these hitters that are on the corporate level. One of them will be with us on February 15th. And this man is a monster. Dana's jaw hit the floor when this man spoke at the conference. Yeah. Harris's jaw hit the floor as well. So it's going to be a huge treat. You guys are super going to be super juiced to hear this man speak. So that is February 15th.
You're not gonna
huh?
You're not gonna tell us who it is? I mean,
maybe next week. Next week I'll say. But I'm telling you that
leave people that hanging.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave everyone hanging. Come back next week and I'll announce who it is. But it's very, very exciting that he's gonna be with us. So bring on any reps that maybe haven't joined the platform. Reminder: Monday night Power Hour. Get new reps on there as well. I think we all should be on there as well. Every time myself and Dana, we all pull nuggets from kind of their verbiage and how they're explaining the platform and explaining the opportunity. I think it's great for us all to be on and get new reps on there as well. And that's all I got. Appreciate all you guys.